Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a little bit of a look at a brand new type of product in the Pokemon TCG. Although I will admit at the outset, it is going to look quite similar to some other products which are, shall we say, not quite so brand new. What we've got here is the official reveal of EX Battle Decks, one featuring Ampharos and one featuring Lucario. And straight off the bat, this answers a question that I've had for a little while. You see, over in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we have known pretty conclusively, well, not pretty conclusively, we were literally told, we have known that there is going to be 12 Pokemon EXs. We knew that. We also knew that Pokemon Scarlet EX and Violet EX over in Japan had 6 EXs each. So that means that we were going to get basically the ones from the Japanese set in our set. Which is fine. But then we ended up with questions like, well, what about Cyclizar EX? Well, that one was easy, because it turns out there is a Cyclizar EX box. So that's nice. I've shown you that. That's good. Okay. Job's a good one. But then we had these other ones, these ones from the starter decks, your Mimikyu, your Lucario, your Ampharos. Well, your Mimikyu was answered a little while ago because we were shown the Mimikyu EX box, and that's featuring Mimikyu, and that's lovely. So then we ended up with these questions of, well, hang on a second. What's going on? What about Lucario and Ampharos? Where are they coming? Well, it turns out they're coming in these EX battle decks. And if you look at the naming convention, and you look at the fact that they are clearly stated to be level 1 products, you should figure out pretty gosh darn quickly that these are going to be the replacements for the V battle decks. They're literally called EX battle decks, not V battle decks. They're level 1 just like the other ones. That should basically tell you everything you need to know. However, there is, as far as I'm concerned at least, and I don't know if this is going to carry on, but there are reasons to believe these are going to be so much better than the old ones. So if we have a look at what they're actually called, we got powerful Pokemon are ready to charge onto the battlefield in the Pokemon TCG EX Battle Decks. Each 60-card deck is led by an exceptional Pokemon EX and includes everything you need to play right away. Let the battle begin. So you get yourself a ready-to-play 60-card deck. 3 reference cards. I kind of like that. That's basically instead of a rulebook, which sounds kind of awesome. And then a rulebook, so you get the rulebook as well, but the reference cards are, just for when you're in the middle of a game. Single-player playmat, and then damage counters, metallic coin, deck box. Don't get excited, it's going to be a foldable paper one. A strategy sheet and a code card. Okay, cool. Unlike the V Battle decks before, these are probably not going to be terribly competitive, honestly, because they're probably going to be filled with suboptimal trainers, and they're going to be designed for beginners. And I don't say this as a negative. We've got the League Battle decks, like the Pokémon I showed you recently. They are designed for people who want to get good quickly, who want to pick up really top-level metagame decks and start playing them nice and quickly. That is what the League Battle decks are there for. These are not them. If you want these to be them, wonderful news. They don't have to be. We already have them. You can go and get them somewhere else. Job's a good un. Lovely. Here's the thing, though. These still do occupy a nice little niche. And I think what we can do here is go and have a look at other V Battle decks and kind of show why these are so gosh darn good. Because generally speaking, and there are exceptions, but generally speaking, if we have a look at the V Battle decks, we get ourselves an alternate art Pokemon V. So recent ones you may have seen would include, for instance, the Lycanroc versus Corviknight deck. Now, I use this as a nice little double pack just because it's easier to show on screen. This is a double pack, and it's a nice moment to tell you, as far as I am aware, and I could be wrong, but as far as I am aware, there is no double pack. We've not been told about a double pack. The V-Battle decks have double packs. We've not been told of one. And the thing is, the Lycanroc is the same one we've seen before, but it's alternate art. The Corviknight is the same one we've seen before, but it's alternate art. And this is generally what happens. This is generally what we get. They're kind of cool because you get an alternate art Pokemon V. Which means that if you really like the artwork, you should go and buy it. And it means that if you are collecting Black Star promos, these are numbered promos, you should go and buy them. But it means outside of that, they're not much good. The thing is, at this stage, and I don't know for certain, but it really looks like the Ampharos and Lucario in these EX battle decks are going to be exclusive to these EX battle decks. Because I've already told you there isn't space for them in the main Scarlet and Violet set. In that main Scarlet and Violet TCG set, there just isn't room for Ampharos and Lucario. We need 12, well, we're getting 12. We've got space for 12, that's it. That's all we've got. Okay, fine. And I don't imagine these are going to be released elsewhere. Again, I can't say for absolute certain they're not going to be released elsewhere. That is not a claim I can make. I don't have that information, and if I may be so bold as to say so, neither do you. But it doesn't make sense to release them anywhere else. So, yes, fine, we've got the same kind of thing we've got with the V-Battle decks. And yes, it is probably fair to assume that, like the V-Battle decks before them, these are not going to be terribly competitive. I don't think that's an unfair statement to make. However, you've got an exclusive EX that can't be found elsewhere, which instantly elevates these to way better products. Now, the question then becomes, is this going to carry on? And the answer is, I don't know. Are there going to be a bunch of other exclusive EXs that we end up getting in here? Or is this going to be alternate arts in the future like the V-Battle decks were, and they just happen to have gone for exclusive cards here because they happen to have a couple of EXs they had nothing else to do with? You know, if you look at someone like Clorf EX, which is an EX which came as a promo in Japan, this was your ordinary, everyday, run-of-the-mill promo. It came in a promo pack, job's a good un. Well, that's probably going to be in an EX box like we saw with Cyclizar. Can't say for certain, but that's the kind of thing that usually happens. Or could they save it for an EX battle deck? Or are there going to be more starter decks over in Japan, and those starter decks are then going to be used as our EX battle decks? And there are a lot of questions that I don't have the answers. If Japan keeps doing a set of starter decks like they did for the release of Scarlet and Violet, it would make sense to put those in EX battle decks exactly like we're seeing here. But Japan might not keep doing those decks. They're not the kind of products that come around that often in Japan. They could just take regular promo EXs, and they will have a bunch of promo EXs, and put them in here. Or they could take EXs out of the set to put them in here. Or they could just go alternate art like they did previously. The answer is, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is they've gone and given us exclusive EXs, which make these way better than the old V-Battle decks ever were. Now, in terms of what the cards actually do, and shout out to lovely Primal Lugia for making these nice and clear and straight and all of that, Lucario EX for 2 energy does 60 damage, it's not good. And for 3 energy, it does 160 to the active, 50 to one of your opponent's bench, which is not inherently a terrible attack, but it's not great, and it's a little bit expensive. And if I may be so bold as to say so, I don't expect Lucario to be particularly good. I ranked all the EXs we've seen, you know, we're getting in Scarlet and Violet and associated products. And, yeah, this came last. This was literally the worst. If I remember correctly, this was the worst. As for Ampharos EX, 1 energy 60, 3 energy 140, but if you discard 2, it does 240. And 240 is a good amount of damage to hit, incidentally. This is a nice number, but the problem we find here is that it's a stage 2. It's a kind of Pokemon that if it was a basic, we could look at this and be like, hey, you know what, that's really good, I like this. But because it's a stage 2, we look at it instead and we're just like, I ain't feeling this. I don't think this is particularly good. Sorry about that. So when I say these are brand new type of products, this is true. We've not had EX battle decks before. They are completely new. It is also very fair to say that these seem, at least on the outside, to be very, very much the successors to V battle decks. And obviously Pokemon Vs are over, so we can't really have any more V battle decks because well, to be fair, we have got a couple alternate arts we haven't had from Japan, but that's about all we could actually use at this point. But the fact that I have exclusive EXs is a big deal. The fact that we've lost the double pack, which had exclusive trainers in, I mean, it's not a huge deal for me, but there must be people out there that always bought the double packs who are going to be genuinely gutted that the double packs have gone away. So yeah, this is pretty big news. And if nothing else, I've been sitting here for months wondering when these extra EXs that Japan have had are going to get here, and now I've got the answer, and now I'm a happy bunny. But now it's over to you guys. Do you think that these EX Battle decks are going to be good? Do you like having exclusive EXs in them? Are you going to be picking them up? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus pods, join a Discord and chat with us, all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.